What's up? It's your boy Antonio, Southwest Alliance. We got another important DJ interview as it's Women's Month, National Women's Month. We got to make sure that we share and celebrate the women around us and in our circles. And one of the very important ladies, the DJ of the Southwest Alliance, especially the first lady of the Southwest Alliance, and somebody super important in the scene, core DJ, Jluv. I'll add the sound effects later.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Antonio. I appreciate that.
No doubt. So real quick, tell the people who you are.
So I'm DJ Jluv of Colorado. I'm a video DJ, nickname Video DJ Mixtress, core DJ. And about 3 years ago when COVID started, 2 years ago, maybe two and a half years ago, 2 years ago, when COVID started, just started the Ladies of the Core Zoom interviews, and it has escalated from there. So nice. Been around the Colorado scene for a long time, been doing a lot of the major clubs, the Grown and Sexy clubs, and had a lot of residents with all them. So
you're a fixture in Colorado. Anybody who's in the scene in Colorado definitely has seen you somewhere on something, that's for sure. We're glad that you have time. We know you're super busy, so we just want to talk about your journey and talk about like how, because a lot of people see DJs, I think they see us at a club or an event, and it seems like we're unapproachable because we're setting up and we leave at a certain time, and so they don't really get to glimpse at who you are. They just hear the music come from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
absolutely true.
So with that being said, tell us about like where you're from. You have brothers and sisters, those type of things.
I have. I'm from Colorado, born and raised here.
Yeah,
right. I have two sisters. One that's more a cousin, but we were raised together, and then my other sister. I have two brothers in Cali, by different mom, but that's all for siblings. Mother of five. So.
Nice. Congratulations, mother of five.
Yes.
You grew up in Colorado, or did you ever have to move away?
I moved away to Texas for a year back in 2018. And then I came back. So, but that was it. Other than that, I've been here in Colorado.
That's what's up. So where did you go to high school? Were you DJing in high school already?
So I went to Match Buff. And when I went to Match Buff, I was like head cheerleader. Hey. Like little pom-pom cheerleader. And the guy that I was dating was like head basketball player. He was one of the big time basketball players. And him and I were dating, and I think we were about 15, maybe 16, somewhere in that general area, about 15, I guess. And he had tore his ACL. And so he couldn't play. And he was at home, and I used to go over to his house. It was in Park Hill. I went to Match Buff. So I'd go over to his house in the evenings and hang out with him because he was my boyfriend. And his uncle started teaching him how to DJ. Lo and behold, that guy is Mixmaster Mike, the very, very famous Colorado DJ that was taking over the scene a long time ago until he's untimely death. So
shout out to Mixmaster Mike.
Most definitely. So I learned right alongside with him, but at that time there weren't female DJs. It was all male dominated. You didn't hear of no females. Right. And so for me, it was more of a hobby. For him, he was, taking it more serious. Went on to get married and had two children by the time I was like 18.
So you were married before you were 18?
Yeah, I was married with two kids.
Tough.
Yeah, it was. And so I got to be like 20, and I was like, I'm a baby. What am I doing? Like, I'm a baby, and I'm married, and I have two kids. This is crazy. And it wasn't to Mike. It was to somebody else. Mike and I were just high school sweethearts.
Right. Okay.
But the guy that I was married to was one of the top notorious dope dealers of Colorado, and he got popped.
Allegedly.
Down with the feds.
Never seen nothing, but allegedly.
When he went down with the feds, and I ended up getting a divorce and going on with my life. The man
as you should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the man that I married after him, guy by the name of Mark, DJ Play, was also a DJ. So I been around DJs. I'm attracted to DJs.
It just happened. You just was like, man, I see the wheels spinning. I gotta check it out.
I know, right? Yeah. And it's funny because when I met him, he was like, I've never seen a female that's as interested in it as me. But of course, at that time, I still was not really taking it serious. I'm like,
You just just take us inside your mind, because like here's the reason why I'm asking is because there's a young lady or a person somewhere out there and they feel like, man, I really want to try something, but something keeps them from doing it. What was it keeping you from, like, knowing you wanted to do it, but like what kept you from doing it?
It was a male dominated industry.
Right.
You did not hear of women doing it. It was just men. It was period. I mean, like, seriously, I don't even know, to be honest, if Spinderella, she might have been just kind of doing a little bit, but even she wasn't really getting credit as much a DJ as she was a part of the group.
Right. Now, do you remember the first time you saw a female DJ like in Colorado, and who it was?
To be honest with you, if I'm really being honest, none. Not that I had ever seen. Before
you don't
me.
Remember the first time you saw one? I saw a female DJ.
No.
I'm trying to think myself.
I know. Bella Scratch was already doing some stuff and respected. Tamika was doing some stuff and known. There were females that were doing a little bit here and there. DJ Desire was doing some stuff, but I hadn't really seen them in action in the clubs. Most of the time when I went to the club, it was still men.
Okay.
At that time.
So then, so you're still married to Mark, or you're not? How long does that last?
Yeah, no. So Mark and I were actually together 14 years. And during that time, he actually opened in Boulder for Run DMC one time, which was really, a dope moment. But no, I just kind of settled into being a wife and raising kids and working at my job. And it was busy time because I had 5.
Of course. With kid, I mean, come on. If you're a parent, you already know.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, I was busy with that. So it came to a point, my daughter, which is the baby, was in high school. I think she may have been 13 or 14 years old. And I met another DJ. I'm divorced from Mark at this time. And I met another DJ. And his DJ Law from Cheyenne, Wyoming. He's in KC now. Also a core DJ. And him and I talked about it. I told him my story, that I had first learned in high school, that Mark was a DJ, all the story. And he's like, why don't you take it serious? He was the first person out of everybody that I had been around that said, why don't you do this for yourself? Why don't you take it serious? Right. And I was like, I don't know.
Shout out to DJ Law, for real.
Real talk. And he was like, take it serious. I'll teach you what you need to know to really get out there and let's do it. Right. And he did. And it was not always easy.
What year was that?
I probably drove him crazy.
What year was that?
I think it was 2011, 2012.
Oh, okay.
2012. It was 2012. It's exactly that. So he took me under his wing, took me out there. I would literally, because I was working full time, and I had 2 kids still at home that were in high school, I think Destiny was in middle school, but I was working a full-time job, and I would literally practice till 2 a.m, lay down for 3 hours and get up, go to work. Yeah, because I wanted at that point.
Shout out to all the DJs that have pulled them late night sessions and I got to wake up in 2 hours.
Yeah, and when you get to practice and you're really into getting it.
Yeah, you're like, wow, man, I found this perfect song that fits with this other one. Yeah. I'm juggling it for hours.
So I went through that for months, and I was just, just dedicated to it. Nobody else really understood around me, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew that it was what I wanted to do.
That's what's up. So that's 2012. So talk about like the DJ life, like transitioning and kind of like learning how it went, your first event, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I went to, so we had heard about Proof was having interviews. And they were trying to find DJs for ladies' night. And they specifically wanted a female. Club Proof.
Gotcha.
And they specifically wanted a female DJ. They were specific in that. So every female DJ in Colorado showed up. And when I showed up, everybody was like, who's this girl? I hadn't DJed in the club yet.
Right.
So everybody was like, who's this?
Some of them knew who you were, but didn't know you as a DJ.
No. Mm-mm.
Right.
So I walked in with Bella and, you know, Tamiko and God, I can't even think of who all was there. There was maybe 4 or 5 female DJs all interviewing. And what we had to do is do a half-hour set. And so I went in there and I did my set. And the one thing about me, I'm a video DJ, first of all. And if you remember, Proof had TVs all over. So that already was really impressive to them. And then I had at the bottom of the screen, Proof, you know, the words Proof, at the Proof circling around. So they were really like wild by that. But the one thing about me is I'm really good at mixing. Like I can't scratch, I'm not a scratcher, but I can blend a song like nobody's business. I can take 2 beats and it you'll think you're listening to the same song. You won't even really click unless you're a DJ. That the next song's already coming. So because of that, I got the job over all of the ladies that were there. No disrespect to any of my girl DJs because they were all dope.
But I mean, everybody has their strengths. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think some DJs don't realize is just, you know, do what makes you happy as a person and you'll find a lane. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're not like this person who's standing right next to you. They do something different. Right,
exactly. Like Bella's excellent on the mic, and I'll never take that from her. You know,
there's different things. And she can play some instruments.
She's an artist. She's an artist.
She's an artist,
exactly.
For sure.
Right. And at the time, you know, Tamika was more on the kind of the hood, you know, she was doing more of the hood type stuff, you know.
Yeah, she'd be on the hood tracks.
That's what she was doing at that time.
For sure.
Yeah. And I was just a perfect fit for what it was they were trying to do for that night.
It's just how it happened. So then you were at Proof for a while. Is that like just kind of like became a residency?
I was that was my residency, and I think I was there.
Your first gig, basically, not your first gig, or was that your first gig?
My first gig
was a residency at Proof.
In front of people, yeah.
Interesting. Was that? Did you feel a lot of pressure? So a lot of like anxiety going to those events?
Because news spread like wildfire. Like, who's this Jluv? What is she doing? It just spread. And so all of a sudden, all the major DJs in Denver just started showing up on my set.
Oh, no. Man, that stresses me out. When I start seeing other DJs, I'm like, oh no, go away.
So that part was kind of funny, you know, because they all started showing up, and I was like, it was nerve-wracking, don't get me wrong, but it was dope. And that's how I started building bonds.
That fire is how you the enduring the fire and making it happen is how you build that character, right?
Absolutely. And so I just built lasting friendships and bonds and family, you know, with a lot of those people. So
that's dope. So then that capitulated, right? So you do Proof for a few years. Like what other gigs start coming around that you had to learn?
I actually did Proof for, I want to say about a year. It wasn't years. It was like a year.
Okay.
And then they decided to go, their crowd was very diverse, and they decided to go a different direction. I was playing more 90s and 2000s, and they wanted to do a little something different.
Right.
So they were like, you know, we're gonna try something different. I was like, okay.
But you got your feet in the game doing a whole year of gigs.
Oh, it was good for me.
Every week.
Yeah, it was definitely good. And that whole time, I mean, I came out doing videos, so it was dope.
That every week?
Every week.
Every Wednesday. That's training camp right there.
It was. It really was. You know, in fact, it helped me find my comfort, you know, level. So it was dope, and I met a lot of good people. So after that, I stopped DJing, or I stopped being in the club after that residency ended. And I did little spots here and there, did Casbah a few times, did a few other, and about within that next year, a club by the name of Apex opened up.
Oh, I remember that.
And as soon as Apex opened up, within the first maybe 3 to 6 months, I had walked through the doors, and a good friend of mine had came to town. And so when he came to town, I came to there, and he came up there with me, and we hung out. And I talked with the manager a little bit, and the manager was like, you know, I think you'd be a good look for him. And so he put me on as a test on Thursday night football night. So I was to play the music before the game, during the game, after the game.
Right.
And at the time, he had Fedora in there. And he had another one. He had somebody else in there too before Fedora. I can't remember. But he had went through a couple of DJs, you know, kind of, and had nailed it down. He had Fedora in there, and him and Fedora were, you know, doing their thing, button heads or whatever. And he just came to me one day and said, "I want you to start doing the main night, which is Friday night." Oh, no, he had put me on Saturday, so I was there every Thursday and Saturday. But Saturday wasn't their main night. Friday was. They had live music. They had. It was after work. It was happy hour. It was the night. And so Herman came to me and was like, one day and was like, "I'm just going to stick you on the main night." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Cause I already knew this was going to be conflicting with Fedora, but you know, we got past it. You know, Fedora wasn't exactly thrilled and, you know, had a few choice words, but we got past it.
And that's the DJ culture. We don't have to talk about that whole subject another day, but so you're at Apex, right?
Yep. So I'm doing Apex and I'm there for years and I'm their main DJ and I'm there pretty much in Apex, sometimes Wednesday, every Thursday,
Nice.
especially during football season. And Friday night for the happy hour, I would get off work. I would leave work an hour early at 3 so that I could be at Apex by 4. And then I would DJ till 2 in the morning. Every single Friday.
That's a tough grind, man.
It was
DJs
tough.
understand that grind. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing when a DJ graduates to the point where they can be a full-time DJ and that's it. But until that happens, every DJ knows that grind. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And
so I was DJing because of being at Apex main time like that. I started doing, I would do Casbon special events. I would do other clubs for special events. K-Tone would have me come downtown and do some stuff with him. And K-Tone's like my brother. From the very first moment that I really started DJing, K-Tone was right there. And he's always been supportive. He's always been like a brother to me. And he just, I don't know, something about, we just connected as brother and sister. Like we have a like family type loyalty to each other. That is real.
I help you, you help me. There's just no questions asked.
Never stabbed each other in the back, have always supported each other, have always looked out for each other.
Well, I think, you know, I think when you demand integrity, you get treated with it. You know what I mean? Like no one tries to throw me a whack deal because I'll just like leave or just not answer the phone. Like, no, because you can't put me in a bad position because I wouldn't allow it to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when you demand that, I feel like the right people come around you because they're like the people who know, they just kind of, they don't hit you up about that because they're like, nah, she'll smell this one out. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So
I mean, you
what
know,
year did you become a core DJ?
Became a core DJ in 2018. Had been going to their core DJ retreats. I want to say, well, the first one was in Florida. So I think that was 2012, 2013. I can't remember which.
Wow, so you went to the very first one.
No, it wasn't the first one.
The first
core
one
DJs
you went to. I got you.
The first one I went, was to the one where they were in Miami.
I was like, wait, okay, awesome.
Makes sense. And then I was going to go to, there was one in Vegas that I was going to go to before that. And I didn't end up going to that, but I did definitely make the Miami one and went consistently from there. And in 2018, I had Tony, K-Tone and all the core DJs that were here in Colorado had put my name in for Tony to make me a core DJ back years before that. Right. And Tony was like, I don't know, you know, it's hard to get in core. You know, there are people that try for years and people that end up walking in the door and make a core. It's no rhyme or reason to it, but it's not, they don't just take every DJ. It's hard. And so it was a challenge for me. I was actually a Fleet DJ first and made a lot of friends in the Fleet family. And then decided that wasn't the right call for me, and decided not to be Fleet anymore. And so I wasn't in any of the groups for a couple of years, maybe 2. And then kept going to the core DJ retreats. And that was really what I wanted to do, because for me, I just felt like I love the Fleet DJs. I have nothing bad to say about them, but I just felt like core was elite. Like it was just bigger, known. They were just major in every type of way. And so that's what I wanted to be a part of. And so in 2018,
that's a difficult thing. Like I would just say, just because I'm not in any particular group, you know what I'm saying? And just looking at the politics, sometimes it's like that's a difficult transition to make. I like from my eyes because of
Mhm.
the, you know, I don't know how to say it, but y'all be acting like gangs sometimes, and they're like
Sometimes, yeah,
coalition. So shout out to
yeah,
everybody. But I'm saying
right.
y'all take a lot of pride amongst that. So did that rub anybody the wrong way? Did you feel that, or was it?
I don't feel like it rubbed anybody the wrong way. I think that people kind of felt like it was a natural thing to happen. There were actually core DJs that were like, I thought you were already core as much as you are supporting core and in it already, and
Oh,
I was
right.
here.
Okay, no doubt.
So it was pretty natural, you know. I mean, definitely it was a magical moment for me. Tony called me up there and put me in himself.
That's what's
Um,
up.
a lot of times core DJs have to be voted in by other DJs. And now K-Tone and them had already put my name in there, but it hadn't happened. I moved to Texas and was actually living in Texas when it happened,
Oh,
and
word.
was making my way out there. And I had started doing the daiquiri shop, and which is right by the stadium. And so we'd have huge crowds, and I became a resident there within the first like 3 months that I became there. I was actually DJing there within like a month of getting there.
Nice.
And not like crazy a lot, but I was already getting my feet wet and DJing.
That's
And
what's up.
so Tony saw it, saw me moving, saw me doing what I was doing, and he put me in 2018 automatically.
Nice. So before we get to that, to like to what you're currently doing, let's just go to a couple random questions so that people could kind of get to know you, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Yep.
not just your history, but you know, maybe your taste. So first question I want to ask you is, you're DJing your own party for the music that you like. What 5 artists are you playing the most?
Oh,
Any genre, any generation.
it's gonna be all 90s and 2000s, to be honest. I
Tell
mean,
us some
that's
artists.
my
Tell us
thing.
some artists. Who's your 5
Definitely
artists you
Usher.
gotta have?
I'm playing Usher for sure. I'm
Okay, Usher.
definitely playing oh my gosh, I can't even think. You put me on the spot.
You know, that's
I can't
we
think.
gotta
I
put
mean,
you on the
it's
spot
so
with these ones.
many. Yeah, it's so many songs from that time period. And this is actually what made me famous at Apex too. Because I was playing all 90s and 2000s. I was playing like Biggie and Tupac.
Right. But
But
who
I
can't
played like
who can't Jluv live without? Who are the 5 artists that we gonna hear at Jluv's party?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
He's my ultimate favorite
Okay,
of
number 1.
everything.
Chris Brown.
Number 1, Chris Brown.
Okay.
Everything Chris Brown touches is gold.
Okay. Who else?
Tupac and Biggie.
Tupac
They're
and
always
Biggie.
in my sets.
She got them both. Okay.
Definitely Janet Jackson.
I knew that Janet was coming. I don't know how I knew. I was like, Jluv, Janet.
I'm just a little bit younger than Janet, just a couple of years younger than her. So when I
people
was
that weren't in that era don't realize how like shook up, like how much she shook it up with like Rhythm Nation and those like.
Yeah, when she came out with that, she was ahead of me a couple of years, and that was just my anthem. Like I was like, "Whoo, I'm gonna be like that. Like I'm getting to that age, and I'm gonna be there," you know, kind of thing. So
it was like it was like a Public Enemy for the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
my cousin was older than me, and she had a like 73 Nova. You know what I'm saying? And she would just come through with the 15s, dumping the Rhythm Nation. You could hear her down the block.
Yeah, most definitely. E40 is another one of my absolute favorites.
There you go. You got 5. That's your 5 right there. Playing at Jluv's party. We got Chris Brown, Biggie, Pac, Janet, and E40. I love that party. I'm going to that.
Right. That's what put me on the map at Apex, because that's what I was playing, and I was playing the videos, and people would people would come in there and be staring at the videos like, wow, because it would just bring back memories.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope. So let's keep going. Books or movies?
Movies.
Tell us your 5 movies that you watch the most ever. Like what 5 movies have you watched more than any other movies?
The Hangover. Probably
The Hangover. All right.
10 to 15 times.
You want to fuck on me?
Yeah, right. That's just if I'm ever in a bad mood, you'd probably find me watching that again.
Hangover.
I'm a gangster kind of type thing. So Scarface.
Okay. Scarface.
All of those gangster type movies.
All right, but you got 2 right now. You got Hangover and Scarface. What other movies can't you live without? I need to watch this one.
Yeah. Damn, I can't think of the names of them. I'm horrible at names. The one with God, I can't think of the names of them.
You know that
I
one
wish you would give me a hands up. All the gangster movies.
Goodfellas?
Shoot. Huh?
Goodfellas?
No, that wasn't one that I was like watching a lot of.
See, that's why when you say gangster movies, there's a large.
There's a large thing,
We
yeah.
got Scarface, we got The Hangover. What else?
Wesley Snipes, what was the one he was in? That was my shit over and over.
Wesley
again.
Snipes in a lot of movies.
The gangster one, the main one he was in.
New Jack City.
New Jack City.
Okay, so
definitely watched New Jack City 50 more times.
Scarface. The Hangover.
Yep.
What else?
I also liked Love and Basketball. That was one of my favorites.
Basketball. We got you. We got to celebrate for the ladies
anything,
out there.
Right. Anything Madea. I'm a Madea true fan.
So Tyler Perry. We'll just say Tyler Perry Studios for number 5 instead of one movie.
Because I do watch all of this.
He's a genius, though. He's Tyler Perry. No
his disrespect. I like movies that make me feel good.
He's a genius.
And his movies, they do it.
I don't know about dressing up like Madea all the time, but hey, he's a genius. He getting his money.
It got a little weird on the last one I saw. I was like, he did a Beyonce skit, and I was like, let me turn this off. It's too much.
Okay, so last question, then we're gonna get back to what's going on. You could only eat 3 things till the last day on earth. What is Jluv gonna eat?
Ice cream.
What
I'm an ice cream fanatic.
What kind?
Chocolate chip, mint chocolate, Rocky Road.
You're just gonna mix it all up? Okay.
Love ice cream.
Okay, ice cream. Can't live without the ice cream. What else?
No. Street tacos. I'm a street taco fanatic. I love them.
You're Mexican?
I know, right? You would think, but no, I'm not actually. My daughter used to tell her friends I was half Mexican when she was young.
We eat tacos enough. We're Mexican now, and we live in Colorado.
I love them. And then steak.
And a steak. Gotta have. How do you eat your steak?
Medium well.
All right. Medium though. Come on, man. Come on, Jluv. Medium.
Slightly in between medium well and medium, because I do like it like just that tender, not too cooked. Definitely.
That's what's up. All right, we got you. We'll make sure we send you a steak for your birthday. Matter of fact, tell us, when is your birthday? Not the
August
year,
4th.
but tell us the date.
Yeah, August 4th. I'm a Leo.
Oh shit! I knew that. Gang. August 3rd.
Yeah, that's right.
You know I knew that. I knew that you was a Leo.
That makes a lot of sense, Antonio, because we do think a lot alike on things.
No doubt. No doubt. Mad love.
I'm
sorry to all the other signs. You'll never be us, but thank you for trying.
Never. We are bosses.
So let's go back. So you're core DJ now. Obviously, now you're doing Ladies of the Core, which turned into Conversations of the Core. And for the people who maybe see it from afar and are not DJs, tell them what that is.
So originally, what my thought was, because everybody kept harping on, it's the year of the lady, it's the ladies' time, it's their time, like all the lady rappers, it's like ladies are taking over the world,
That's real.
And Ladies of the Core was gaining so much momentum. There were so many people that were like, wait a minute, who's this group of ladies, that are all DJs, verified DJs, good DJs, but also, just nice looking ladies, like definitely decent looking ladies, and they had, I was sitting there and I was thinking about it, and a guy that I knew was like, hey, you want to get Lyrica Anderson on a Zoom call? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, trying to get him on with the ladies. And I was like, okay, so I got him on the call. I got her on the call. And then we did Lyrica, we did Brave Williams, and we did Nikki Natural. Those were
and then you brought Lyrica on our call as well. So shout out to you.
Exactly. Yep. And so we did those calls. And then I was sitting there kind of thinking about it. And I was like, what would be really dope is to connect female rappers and female artists with the female DJs, like because it wasn't happening before that. There was a lot of females blowing up, and there was a lot of female DJs all of a sudden everywhere, and female, R&B and stuff. But in my mind, I was like, what if we connect them? Like, we should be all supporting each other, like sisterhood.
Right.
And I just started reaching out to Erica Banks and Rennie Rucci and just all these females that were just hitting it hard.
Right. At the beginning, yeah, I remember even getting on the call a couple times and thinking, like, I'm not trying to talk. I wouldn't say nothing because I'm like, I'm gonna let the ladies talk. You know
right. Rico Nasty. Like, it was crazy. The females. And the minute I hit them and approached them with what I was trying to do, connect them to female DJs, I never got turned down. Right. Everybody was like, yeah, let's do it, you know, kind of right away. You know, no matter how big they were like, yeah, let's do it. So I just started making those calls happen, and it caught Tony's attention. And I was new to core. So normally Tony's CEO, you kind of run things through him before you start doing things up under the name of core. But I didn't run it by him. I didn't know better. I just was like, let's do this, you know, and it just blew up. And Tony gave me a call, and he's like, I like what you're doing. And I was like, okay, you know, like, that's like the president of your company that you work for giving you some acknowledgement over here. You're the new little guy, you know? So I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, he was like, just keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, that's dope. That's very dope.
But
that's very dope.
It's not, but it changed, right?
Yeah. So along the way, it grew to be so big and so popular and so much talk that Tony was like, you know, I want to envelop it all to all of core, you know. And we were getting a lot of the female DJs on there, but we weren't getting a lot of the core DJs, the male core DJs on as much. Some were always like K-Tone, of course, you know, he's always going to support me. Big B, you know, there were guys that DM, you know, there were guys that were always going to get on those calls, but not all of it wasn't as many guys as it was the females. And so Tony was like, let's try bringing some male artists into, and let's also try to appeal to all of core. So we changed the name to Conversations with the Core. And we just started, you know, doing it every week, week in, week out, you know, kind of thing. And it just has snowballed into what it is now, which is huge.
No doubt, no doubt. And I just want to, like, I think because we have this opportunity, I just want to, like, describe to anybody who's confused, like, what's the difference between Southwest Alliance, right? Because Core DJs is the biggest group in the country, right? So as an artist, if you're signed to Def Jam and you're trying to get out to the most DJs, you're going to go to Core DJs, Fleet DJs, Coalition DJs, whoever, you know, that pecking order. I feel like Southwest Alliance is completely different than that because, number one, we're representing a region of the country. And the reason we're representing that is because our region is underserved. We don't have a lot of managers. We don't have, like, we have the radio stations, but they don't trickle down to us street DJs. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But we have guests on our show to keep the DJs interested, but that's not really our goal. Yes, we want to break records with big guys. That's cool. We are going to do that. It's going to be a lot of that. You've given us a lot of guests. People have given us guests. We are happy for them guests, but that's not our goal. Southwest Alliance goal is to find hits from our region, to get to core DJs, to get to fleet DJs, to get say, hey, Nay Renee is popping. Check out this record. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And so, it was when Southwest Alliance, when you guys started doing that, and I started participating in it, that was when I started myself learning about artists that were, you know, in Arizona and in Colorado and hearing their music firsthand. You know, before that, I'd have to call K-Tone and be like, K-Tone, send me some music from local artists.
Put me on to something.
But now
that's why it was key for me to have K-Tone, because we need, like, John Blaze, K-Tone, Roland. These guys are in the streets finding the artists real time, and now it gets to us a lot faster. We all know this new song like that.
Me too. And I love it. You know, I love it. Definitely. I feel so much more in touch with it. Do they always recognize me like they do some of the other DJs? No. Even though I probably have some of the strongest connects for them. Not always, but it's okay.
That kind of happens though, because that happens to me too. Like, there's artists I see waste money and I'm like, why'd you do that? I could have did this for you. But at the same time, like, and I watch this in artist development, is that there's certain people that cannot learn without failing. They have to do it wrong first.
Right.
There's some people that can meet with people and go, hey, I'm gonna trust all y'all with this. And sometimes that don't work out. And that's when it makes those people go second guess things and, you know, try it themselves. So it's a tricky game. We're always all looking for the right clients. But I think one of the keys is that now we're all in communication, right? Southwest Alliance is here. We know if we got an artist, hey, this guy's popping.
Yep.
It's time to send them to core. You know what I'm saying? Run their packages or send them to these people, you know, and that's, I just want to, I thank you because I want to clear that up, because I think people look sometimes and go, oh, they're in competition, but we're not. We're just not next to each other.
And I'm a part of both, you know, and I feel comfortable being a part of both. It's not in competition with each other.
And that's something that changed as well, because, you know, we, as from the beginning said, everybody's welcome. And if I remember for a long time, core, you could only get on a core call if you was a core DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you guys kind of push that yourselves, you and Midday, to say, hey, I got a lot of friends who might not be core DJs.
Exactly. I was a fleet DJ at one point. I still have family and people that I have a lot of love for that are fleet, you know, so I used
but shout out to you and Tony for being open to it, because I feel like it's
Tony was very open to it. He, you know, when we said it, Tony was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Go ahead and do it, you know, so.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because by then I knew to run things by him, and he was like, yeah, I'm good with that. Let's do that.
No doubt.
So
what struggles or what things have you been involved in ever in your life that may have been tough as a DJ, but then you learned something from it? You know what I'm saying?
I would say managing artists was tough.
Okay, talk about that a little more.
I managed SB Surfs Up. God, just love SB Surfs Up. God, please let him make it.
On my mixtape comes out this week, livemixtapes.com. Apply pressure. Sorry.
If there's somebody that needs to just go over that hump, he's it. He's right there.
Right, he's fine.
He deserves that so much. So SB Surfs Up, K Stylus, I've managed. I was a part of the management group under Rock Room for them. And you know me, a female artist out of Chicago with a lot of potential too. So nothing bad against any of the artists that I worked with. It wasn't them, you know, but just, it was very time consuming. It was a lot. And I felt like it was between that and the core calls and DJing at the time, it was too much. It was too much. And I was just breaking down.
You think it was a combination of things, or do you think that you were just too spread thin to do everything you wanted to?
Too spread thin. It was too much. And around that time in May was when I started noticing something wasn't right with me. So I wasn't okay. And called my doctor, started some tests. And at first the doctor was like, oh, it's just this. And went to the core retreat in Atlanta and was running around with my head cut off, kind of as one of Tony's assistant type people, you know, that did a lot for him.
The retreat done. Helping get the retreat logistics done.
Exactly. You know, making sure everybody got where they needed to go, knew where they needed to be, that equipment was where it needed to be. Yeah, that part. And but I knew something wasn't really right with me.
Did you feel fatigued, or what was the feeling like?
I would literally, so I'm on the radio too. I DJ live. It was DJ live was and still is really difficult for me. I just don't have the strength. I just don't, like, I can't carry all that.
Make you nervous?
Not nervous, just I'm comfortable. It's my body just isn't up to par yet for it. So I was diagnosed with cancer at the end of July.
Right.
And
the C word nobody wants to hear.
Yeah. And went through 2 surgeries back to back. And even though now I am quote unquote in remission, my body's still healing, and I'm still trying to, my last surgery was in November.
Right. So you're still trying to get your strength back.
Still
am. Congratulations though. Now they say you're in remission.
Yes.
Is there any other surgeries required, or are you just?
No, I went through surgeries, 2 surgeries back to back. Right after the first one, they removed my ovaries. And right after that surgery, 3 weeks later, they sent me in for CAT scan, full body CAT scan, just checking, you know, to make sure there was nothing else, because I had some blood tests that looked a little odd to them. And that's when they noticed that I had a huge mass near my liver, and gallbladder. And
Ooh,
so
words no one ever wants to hear, man. Those are the most frightening
so
words in the English language.
Right. So this is 3 weeks after the first surgery, and I'm still at home recovering from that. And they were like, we got to put you back in surgery like now. And so within 3 days, I was back in the hospital, going back into surgery again, major open surgery. And I was like, it was crazy. It was definitely crazy. So
that's nuts. But hey, congratulations right now. You're in remission. We're going to all send out good vibes for you. Y'all send out good vibes for her as well. Prayers, meditation, whatever. Yes. I mean, accepting all positive vibes.
Yes, definitely. But, you know, I've just noticed since that I don't have the, it's hard for me to stand like that for 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's horrible for me. Like, you know.
Even as like a grown man who's healthy, when I have long weddings and stuff, I take a foam neoprene mat and nice comfortable shoes and stand there because that, you know, we get older.
It takes a toll. And right now for me, especially more so than ever. But then also lugging equipment, you know, just, I can't, the big speakers and stuff. I was just like, I can't do this no more. Okay. So, and I had just signed with a major DJ. He does like, he books a DJ booking.
Right.
And an agent. And he's awesome. I love Brian to death. And he was getting me some really, really good gigs, like the high paying good gigs, you know, up in Fort Collins and stuff like that. Right. But I couldn't keep it up. It was too much.
I mean, you know, like something I'm a firm believer in is that everything happens in the right time. You know, like everything in the universe is aligned perfectly. You know what I mean? And the time happens when it's supposed to. So no door closes that doesn't open. You know what I'm saying? So
very
true. Time is right, and you're healthy, and those things, and you can constantly do gigs. That time will come back.
Yeah, and I'm not there yet. And I don't know. I'm older. I'm not 20. I don't know if I'm gonna be.
We're not gonna tell nobody your age, or we're not gonna tell us.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you know, we'll see. I mean, it's
so how is life today? Now, what are you working on? What are you focused on?
So, because of the things that I successfully started within the core, I am now learning the actual, one of the main connects for any artists that want to work and have core service them. Okay. So Tony and Twan.
Tell artists what that means when you say service them. What does that mean?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So artist comes along and he's trying to make it. And we both know, you and I both know. I don't know that every artist knows, but an artist comes along and he wants to make it. He wants to break through. He's talented.
So he's got a record, maybe he's pushing. He comes across the court and he says, hey, I got this record.
So the first thing that you and I both know is you've got to have a budget. You've got to have a budget. It's sad because the most talented people that I meet, the people that I just love their art, their rap, their flow, their style, they never have a budget. Yeah. And I can't do nothing for them. And it sucks because I want to so bad.
I understand that 1,000%.
True. And then the ones, you know, then the other ones, and I'm not saying all the ones that have the money are bad. Don't get me wrong. There've been some very, very talented people that have had money behind them, you know, but and including SB, you know, he's a very talented man that does have the funds behind him and has been doing all the right moves. Right. But you know, you got to have a budget. You just do.
You do.
To really break.
And there's just certain doors that don't open unless you put the dollar bills in the slot.
Exactly. So I'm the one that gets them connected with the core. I'm the one that, you know, when they've got their budget together and they've got their talent, and don't get me wrong, because there have been people that have come to us and, hey, I throw some money out there. I got $5,000, but you don't have the talent.
There's a lot of things that have to go into it. You have to have the right record, everything has to be running at the same time. That's what people don't understand. You can't just throw 5,000 in thing and think, oh, I'm going to blow up. Did you have a website? Right. Did you have merch? Are you touring? Do you have publicity? You know what I mean? Exactly. Is your marketing game on point? Because running a campaign with anybody, if your publishing ain't right, ain't gonna be worth shit.
It's not gonna work. Exactly.
So there's a lot of things on the checklist. That's what I do.
Right. Right. Exactly. Build them up. So, you know, being that core DJs are who they are, we can't just take anybody's money. And we're not in it for that.
No, that's
He took
facts.
the
You
wealthy
can't
man.
take anybody's
That's not what
money.
we're doing.
Right.
You know, but if you're willing to put in the work and you've got the budget behind you and you've got the talent and you've got a song that we're like, yeah, I think that could pop, that could really do something.
Right.
Then yeah, we're gonna get behind you. We're gonna stand behind you. When we stand behind you, we are pushing it out to the over 600 core DJs that there are across the world and in other countries. We are getting you exposure, getting you, you know, your possibility of getting on Shade 45, the possibility of getting, you know, heard. We got major.
It really has to do with how it bounces back. If you send this record out and everybody hates it, what you want me to do about it? You know what I'm saying? But if you get a record and y'all feel that it's strong and you push it and it bounces back and people like it, then it can be worked. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think that's why things like us exist, right? Complimentary, because there's artists who have been on the Southwest Alliance that we've connected to other podcasts and certain things, but they're not at the level that core DJ can break them yet. They haven't had the experience, or they don't got the hit, or they don't got the budget. And so that's why different things exist, because there's different levels. There's guys that are at the core DJ level that are famous that it'd be difficult to get them on my call because we're not really doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. And then there's artists that aren't ready to be on a core call.
Exactly.
They're not at that level where I can just present them to the core DJs. Exactly. Because when you say core DJs, you've got core DJs that are
there's expectations.
We got core DJs traveling with major artists. We have core DJs that are on all the major radio stations, damn near in every
they get on and hear some bullshit. They're like, what the hell is this?
Right. So I have a lot of pressure on me to make sure that anybody that does come to me, I am making sure they have the budget, but I'm making sure they have the talent.
Yeah, it has to have the right sound. Because there's guys who got budgets that they don't got the right record. They don't got the
I listen to new artist music probably 6 to 8 hours a day.
No doubt.
Like I'm at work at my regular day job, just listening to music that artists have sent me just for that one person who stands out. Who
submissions are, man, if people only knew how much stuff we go through listening to submissions to find good records.
Right. And it's, it's funny because it's the people that sit there and pressure you to check out their song. And then you hear it and you're like, oh my God, I'm never going to get that last 5 minutes back in my life. Like, why did I subject myself?
The music has always got to lead. The music, no matter what, the music has got to lead. And if you got people around you not telling you, and that's another reason why people come to the Southwest Alliance and calls like us, is because you got to test it first. If all the DJs get on and say it's whack, you might want to think about it again.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with testing.
No. And it's good to be honest and let them know. Like, I think you're talented. I'd like to hear something else from you. And, but this isn't it. This song is not it. I've heard K-Tone and them get real with artists who are big and have major songs out and that we all love and be like, that just ain't the song.
Not for me anyway. You're right.
Yeah, go back and try again because you've got good music out, but that song is not going to be it. So you got to be real with people. You got to tell them, because sooner or later they're going to run into the people that are real with them. But some of those people may not have the same standards.
If you don't keep it real with them, they're going to hit a real wall one day.
Absolutely. Right. But the problem is there's so many people out here, snakes, just trying to take their money and cash in on them, that they're going to give them a line of BS and then take their money knowing nothing's going to happen with it. You don't want to be that guy. I'm definitely not in it to try and take advantage of people. I'm not. That's not what I'm about. If I say it's a good music, I want to stand behind it.
We undervalue ourselves. We have to, because there's so much of that going on, our rates are competitive, but they're undervalued to what we actually do, because we actually do a lot with the records. If we was in New York or LA, our price would be 10 times the amount. So any artist who's watching this, go to our website, SW Alliance Music, click I'm an Artist, you can get on the call right away. With that being said, Jluv, it's National Women's Month. You got a lot of young girls that look up to you, or that will see this and say, hey, I want to be DJ someday or have another dream. As a mother, as a role model, what do you try to instill not only in your children, but in the young women?
Respect yourself and hold your standards of what you will accept high. If you love yourself and you say, I'm not taking anything below this, and you'll never get nothing below that. There are women who think that being a female DJ, and you know, I'm older now, but being one of the attractive female DJs, you would not believe the things that came at me. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be that DJ. And I'm not going to be the DJ in a bikini that really can't DJ. I had guys in the beginning say, can I just put you on the flyer? And they didn't even want me to DJ. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I had a guy tell me I should be lucky he's making that offer to me. And I was like, nah, I'm going to be known for being a DJ, not for being a face that you're going to put on there.
That applies to all things in life, though. That's not just being a DJ.
Right.
Creating standards.
Exactly. So if you're an artist, you're not going to get there sleeping your way up there, because honey, once you sleep with them, you're already out the game.
Right.
Real talk.
You already shot yourself in the foot.
Exactly. So don't do it. And you're not going to get there with your looks. No matter how much you'd like to believe that, it might get you that initial attention, but it's not going to really do it. It's going to take talent, and it's going to take you really being serious about your craft, whether it's rapping or singing or DJing, whatever it is that you're trying to do, be serious about it. Take it serious, make people around you take it serious. I never mix work with private. The people that I work with and the people that are in my profession are that's what they are. And the people that are in my private life, I want a man that knows me for who I am, not Jluv. Right. I don't want to be that person. I want them to
book Jluv. They can't book.
Right.
You're not going to put your government out there, but they can't book you.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what people don't know is that I'm clumsy, that my favorite color is pink, that I am goofy and I like to act stupid, that I am a mother and that I am a nana, and that I wear my hair on the top of my head. That's your private life. I want them to know that part of me. Right. I love that part.
That's great advice. Jluv, always a pleasure. They can check this out at swalliancemusic.com or on our YouTube by searching SW Hot List.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what you continue to do this year. You can find Jluv on the music tab of Southwest Alliance Core DJ's website, and follow her on IG. What's your IG, Jluv?
It is DJ Jluv. Love is spelled L-U-V with a 1 behind it. That's my Twitter. That's my IG. All of that.
No doubt. Mad love. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yep.